I'm always asked to come and talk about technology and technological trends. I'm not going to talk about technology. The easiest way that somebody like me can look really, really stupid in about 6 months' time is to tell you what the cool thing is going to be in 6 months' time. Talking about what the new shiny thing is going to be is a total waste of time. So anybody who you might be employing right now to tell you what the next big thing is going to be, you can quite happily sack them. I've just saved you an awful lot of money. Congratulations. The thing that you should be paying attention to are the trends, however. The general social trends. Now, the internet, the web, all of those things are actually quite new. The internet is pretty much here. And there are two major trends that I want to talk to you about, which are coming out because of all of these digital platforms that we're seeing. And these two major trends are universal. They're not just about the web, they're not just about apps, they're not just about blogging or Twitter or Facebook or any of that sort of stuff, which is quite transient. There are universal trends that we should be paying attention to. The first one is measurement. If I was to make a bold prediction about the next decade, certainly the next couple of years, the next couple of years are all going to be about measurement, both in the grand macroeconomic sense, but also in the personal sense, as well as your branding and your publishing. We are going to be measuring stuff. We're going to be measuring a lot more stuff than we've ever measured before. We are currently entering socially and economically a period of a massive taking stock. Whether you're the Irish finance minister, or the Chancellor of the Exchequer, or yourself having a bit of a midlife crisis, the next couple of years are going to be massively taking stock. And this is a big problem for the media industry. Because the one thing that digital media has brought along, which print media, and specifically print consumer media, regular magazines out on the newsstand, and newspapers and so on, the thing that they're having to deal with is the numbers have suddenly got really accurate. Now, you guys already know this because you guys have got really accurate numbers. But I work mostly in an industry which is really based on, it's really based on bullshit, quite frankly. The second and most important change I think that's going to happen over the next couple of years is tied in from this. It's tied in with this because large brands, specifically in the luxury and fashion industries who've got an awful lot of money to spend, are looking at this measurability trend, and they're realizing that they can spend their money more efficiently somewhere else. And they're also looking at the digital revolution, and they're realizing that the tools are out there to be able to do cool stuff. In terms of digital technology, we're really kind of like oil painters. We've spent the last 10 years or so learning how to mix the paint, working out how to get the hair to stay on the end of the stick. We've been developing the technology. But now, with things like the iPad, with HTML5, and all sorts of other acronyms I could tell you about, the technology has been matured. And as a technologist and as a creative technologist, we're able to do pretty much anything that you have in your head. We can make it happen now, without many restrictions. We've worked out how to make the paint, and now the point is to use it. And this newfound technological capability comes together with the measurability and means that the advertising clients are looking for new and interesting things to do. Everybody over the past year, and certainly in the fashion industries, has been getting into video. They all want to make films. And the reason they all want to make films is because they can. They can see that a Red camera costs them very little money. They can see that Final Cut Pro costs them very little money. And they can see that YouTube and Vimeo can stream HD. And so therefore, let's go out and make films. This sort of thing is only going to get worse. People are going to want, your clients are going to want to do new stuff on multiple platforms. And so that's the second trend, multiple platforms. Now, we're all talking about, we've all talked about multiple platforms many times before, print and web and iPad and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you about two new platforms that are going to be coming up in the next year that have already appeared, and I think they're going to be a very big deal. And there's something you should look at.